very simple technical analysis, actually, a very simple breakout system. And that's what I do. I have very simple strategies based on actual data and research. I backtest it and I trade it without mistakes.
All right, folks, here we are on Trading Up. We've got Cas Daamen in the house. He's about to jump on a price chart and show you how a couple of trades from a strategy that is highly effective. In fact, it's how you should properly run a prop firm funded account. He's got a prop firm funded account. You're going to see the proof of that in a second and show you what he's done across the course of the year, how he's managed to keep that account and keep it growing. And I believe you've got quite a few of them, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I have multiple prop accounts, multiple strategies. Some are high risk, some are lower risk, to diversify there as well, basically.
And he also works for a hedge fund. So well done, Cas. And let's dive in and share your chart and have a look at things. Right, if you're liking this video and you're thinking, where could I trade this kind of strategy? Why don't you check out my sponsors at Blue Guardian? Now, these guys have got an awesome prop firm. They offer up to 85% profit splits, realistic profit targets of 8 and 4%, scaling plan up to 2 million, the Guardian Protector, and they've got bi-weekly payouts. If you do want to join them, jump on board with coupon code TradingNut, all one word, and you're going to save yourself 10% off at checkout. Link in the description.
All right, so this equity chart is a chart connected to one of my funded accounts. Now, like we said in the beginning, I have multiple funded accounts, and this one is type of a low risk, slower growth account. With prop firms, I have quite an interesting strategy. So with some accounts, I try to risk more to make bigger payouts, but there's a chance of blowing up. And on other accounts, such as this one, I have lower risk, more consistent gains. And this one is more similar to actual normal trading instead of the high risk one. So that's why I'm sharing this. But as you can see, the most important things here that I want to talk about is, first of all, it's a 50K real account. I made 11K over the course of almost a year, as you can see right there. The total return is 24.6%, and the drawdown, the max drawdown, was 4.3%. Now, disclaimer, this is not my typical result. Usually my drawdowns are a bit bigger than this, so I do expect to have a drawdown in the near future. So that's what I just want to say beforehand. What's more interesting is this period. And when you say you're a profitable trader, people automatically assume that you make money every single month. It's not the case. In fact, this is from the end of June all the way till the end of August, which is 2 months in a drawdown. 2 months. Most people wouldn't not be able to do this. So I think it's good to focus on, yes, I made this return on this account over the course of a year, but there's also this period of 2 months where I didn't make anything on this account. Here's another period as well, which is not a big drawdown, but it's stagnation essentially, and here as well. So even though you're profitable, you won't make money every single month, and even every single year sometimes. That's just the reality of trading, and I think hopefully this is going to help you to have realistic expectations. The second thing is, as you can see, I trade multiple markets. So multiple markets, multiple strategies on this account, even some discretionary trading as well. And that gives me this kind of a smooth equity curve. So I have multiple decent strategies, not too optimized, not too complicated, but combining these decent strategies is what gives you consistent results. And I think aiming for that is going to be very important in your trading journey. Now, before we're going to end this, because you haven't really learned that much, I'm going to go to the chart and explain 2 trades I took on this account as well, to kind of give you the thought process behind what I do, what I look for, etc. Now, before I dive into this, this is a fully mechanical strategy on the NASDAQ, and I'm not going to give you the exact mechanical rules, but I'm going to give you what I look for. So we are looking at the NASDAQ, and we had this big move down. And then we created this base. As you can see with the red line here, we basically created a range low. Then the market opens. So the US session opens. This is US time. US session opens, and we take out the low of that range, as you can see here by this big wick. Now that's really interesting to see, because we essentially break lower, but it's being rejected. So that's the first kind of bullish sign. Then during the actual trading session, we trend up, and then we break this type of structure here. And as soon as we break and close above this high, which essentially initiated the push down, that got rejected, I entered long with a stop loss right at the low there, and I exited here. Now, you might say, why do you exit there? There's some structure here, maybe there. Why exit right there in the middle of nowhere. And I'm going to explain that. And this is how I build strategies based on data and research from other good profitable traders. So let me quickly explain this. What you're looking at is a chart which basically shows the performance of buying and holding the S&P index, the performance of buying as the actual trading session in the US opens, and then closing at the end of that trading session, which is your green line. So blue is the buy and hold, green is buying at the beginning of the session, closing at the end of the session, and red is going to be buying at the end of the session and closing at the open of the next session. And as you can see, almost all S&P gains since 1993 have been made overnight. That's the foundation for this strategy. I try to capture the momentum that's being created during the day and hold overnight, because usually overnight most gains are being made. So as you can see, we move up, we go into the overnight session, and then the next day, early in the morning, we get this push up. And that's what you usually get. And that's based on this. So that's what I try to do with the strategy. And it all looks very similar. So here is another setup I took. It's a bit of a later entry, but again, the same thing. We create a range, take out the low just before the actual trading session begins. Right here is the US Open. It begins. We break the structure of that US Open. I enter long, put my stop here, and I try to hold overnight and exit for basically the beginning of the next day. And that's all based on this research paper combined with very simple technical analysis, actually, a very simple breakout system. And that's what I do. I have very simple strategies based on actual data and research. I backtest it and I trade it without mistakes. And that's it.
Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Brilliant. That's a super simple way to, I suppose, wrap everything up, because what I like is, if you guys do listen to the podcast, Cas talks about how he listens to other podcasts from successful traders or interviews with successful traders, takes little snippets and brings them into his own trading. And this is a prime example of what he actually does playing out in a price chart. So, Cas, thank you very much for coming on the show. What's the best way for traders to find out more about you?
It's going to be Instagram at @DaamenCas or my website, cdfxtrading.com.
Brilliant. Well, folks, thanks for watching the video. Remember to stick around for Trading Nut. We've got other videos dropping on the channel. Hit subscribe, like, and that notifications bell, and find that link to his podcast down below the video as well.